As the world recently celebrated International Women's Day 2024 under the resounding theme of inspiring inclusion, it was only fitting that we pay homage to 50 female trailblazers who have shattered glass ceilings, defied norms, and championed inclusivity across diverse sectors. Each woman in this feature represents not just achievements in her field, but also the courage and resilience that have become synonymous with womanhood. These 50 profiles are windows into lives that challenge the status quo, break barriers, and tell stories of struggles, experiences, and wins. From powerful politicians to fearless activists and global entrepreneurs to award-winning artists redefining genres, these women are not just making history, they are shaping a brighter, more equitable future. In politics, government, and international public service. Leading the list is the First Lady of Nigeria, Remi Tinubu. Amina Mohammed, the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, Director General of the World Trade Organization. And they'll move on very quickly. Dr. Doris Udoka Anite, Minister of Industry, Trade and Investment. Hannatu Musawa, Minister of Art, Culture and the Creative Economy. Olufolake Abdul-Razak, First Lady, Kwara State and Chairperson of the Nigerian Governors Forum. Hadiza Bala Usman, Special Advisor to the President on Policy Coordination. Tariye Badesin, Chief Executive Officer at the Climate Investment Funds. Damilola Ogumbi, CEO and Special Representative of the UN Secretary General for Sustainable Energy for All and Co-Chair of UN Energy. We move to the women shaking the business and finance world. We have Usoro, Deputy Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria. Nneka Onyali Ikpe, Managing Director, CEO of Fidelity Bank. Yemisi Edun, Managing Director of First City Monument Bank. Miriam Olusoya, Managing Director of Guarantee Trust Bank. Bolaji Agbede, Acting CEO of Access Holdings PLC. Bukola Smith, Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of FSDH Merchant Bank. Chinwe Egwim, Chief Economist at Coronation Merchant Bank. Kofo Akinkugbe, CEO of Secure ID. Nkiru Anumudu, Chairperson and CEO Globe Motors. Joke Bakari, Founder MedPlus Pharmacy. Udo Okonjo, CEO, Vice Chairman of Fine and Country West Africa. In oil and gas, Adesua Dozie, Vice Chairman of ExxonMobil. Eloho Aiboni, MD Shell Nigeria Exploration and Production Company, SNEPCO. Amy Jadesimi, CEO of the Lagos Deep Offshore Logistics Base. Winifred Akpani, CEO and founder of Northwest Petroleum and Gas Limited. Folorunsho Alakija, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and Vice Chairman, Famfa Oil Limited. Daisy Danjuma, Executive Vice Chairman, South Atlantic Petroleum. Uju Ifejika, Chairperson, CEO of Britannia U, Nigeria Limited. In the fashion, arts, media, and entertainment industry, Mo Abudu, media personality and CEO of Ebony Life Group, Uche Pedro, founder and CEO of Bella Niger, Chimamanda Adichie, a Nigerian writer whose works range from novels to short stories to non-fiction, Banke Kuku Lawson, creative director and founder, Banke Kuku, Kemi Adetiba, filmmaker, television director and music video director, Funke Akindele, actress, director and producer at FAN. Folake Akindele, fashion designer, creative director and founder, Tiffany Amber Lifestyle. That's not all. On the women flying the Nigerian flag high in the fashion, arts, media, and entertainment industry, others include Ira Star, a Nigerian music artist that made her musical debut in 2021 with her self-titled EP. Tems, music artist renowned for her reflective songs and soulful voice that offers an appealing sound that combines Afrofusion, neo-soul, and R&B. Renny Folawiyo, fashion entrepreneur, founder, Alara. Lisa Folawiyo, fashion designer and creative director, Lisa Folawiyo. Ruth Osime, the host of Arise News TV's program Perspective and the former editor of These Days Style magazine. Rolake Akinkugbe Filani, Chief Commercial Officer and Divisional Director of Mixter Africa, once now a corporate executive in the banking sector and host of Business Week Arise TV News. My humble self, Ayo Myro Esse, compare and anchor Arise News TV. In activism and social work, Obi Ezekwesili, economic policy expert and advocate for transparency, accountability, and good governance. Anne Kyo Briggs, Nigerian human rights activist, founder and director of Agape Birthrights. Kemi Ibru, founder, Women at Risk International Foundation. All right, there we have it. 50 leading ladies as adjudged by These Days Style, an honor and ode to women who are trailblazers, especially in recognition of International Women's Day, and I dare say International Women's Month, which is the month of March. Rufai.
I mean, very great one there and very deserving tributes to you, Ayo. I mean, we've seen your work in the media constantly and also in the compare space and also in the empowerment space, because apart from being the media personnel, you also empower a lot of women out there under the platform, the Speak Her platform, which is a debating competition, which I had the privilege to attend, which was also developing that spirit, of public speaking and also emancipation of the mind of women out there. And that has come to stay. You do that also with another person nominated here, Rolake, that does the business beats over the weekend. So thank you for all your service and thank you for all the things you do for journalism and other aspects of our national life in the country. Indeed, you're a true patriot. I mean, what else can I say about the legendary Ruth Osime herself, These Days Style chief all this while, and now segued into Perspectives over the weekend, which brings about those engaging conversation. And in recent times, I've been seeing those very, riveting topics over the weekend with Ruth Osime's show. It's quite a very big delight to watch. And happy birthday once again. I mean, she turned a big diamond here. recently. And I'll also quickly go to other spheres of life, Obi Ezekwesili, constantly blazing the trail, had a checkered career, the World Bank, was co-founder of TI, Transparency International at some point, also did a lot of work, as regards Bring Back Our Girls, an advocate, frontline advocate. She started the School of Governance, which I've also been part of. I've done a lot of things with, and I can see her passion and her persistence. She's a rock, and you cannot push her around. Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, what can we say about Chimamanda? One of those writers out there that has put Nigeria on the front burner worldwide with her books, that tell the story and the antecedents of things we don't want to talk about in this country. I remember when the movie, to her very famous Half of a Yellow Song was released, and, it was a touchy topic that the censors board tried as much as possible to stall the eventual release of that movie for a while. It just shows the kind of power at which she writes, and her voice has been a great one for feminism around the world. And I dare say I'm a feminist too, with the total understanding of the fact that there must be that level playing field as regards opportunity between men and women. So constantly blazing the trail. There are a lot of people out there on the list. I mean, I can see my sister there. Damilola Ogunbiyi. Goodness me, what else can I say? Recently, she won an award as being a trailblazer in the climate change sector. And I'm just really proud of her. Many things she's been able to do. At first, she used to be, I think one of the first female director, if my memory serves right, of national rural electrification in Nigeria before she moved on to the United Nations. She's done a lot of great work as regards inclusion, in the energy space, and also ensuring that sustainable energy becomes, dominant in this country. What else can I say about the likes of Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala? She's a gift that keeps giving, across the world. She's one of our, very best, being minister twice in this country at some point, done a lot for the country, and now she helps World Trade Organization. And, she's been able to force out these conversations. I mean, what else can I say about Oluremi Tinubu herself? I paid tribute to her this morning. Long-time senator, now wife of the president, constantly lent her voices, to many causes to help humanity. I remember the days of the New Era Foundation and a lot of things she has done, for the emancipation, of people in general. Folorunsho Alakija is another one, with a lot of our empowerment program for women, targeted at women, targeted at uplifting widows in society, and many other things she's done. I mean, it's just prominent, this women, what they have done, and we continue to pay tribute to each and every one of them. I can see Bolaji Agbede there, the new chief of the Access Holdings,
yeah.
And she's just put in there very, resolute banker, an accountant with over 20 years of experience, done her bit in the banking sector. And it just shows that women keep blazing the trail. And it has shown. And for all of those that maybe by omission or commission said a woman's place is in the kitchen or the other room, they are wrong. A woman's place is on the table, making those great decisions and emancipating free thought in our nation. And today we pay tribute to all of them. I mean, I'm for Damilola Ogunbiyi and my sister Ayo Mares, Rolake Felani Rusime. I say there shall be implications for this.
All right.
Okay, can we put this in a context? Every woman chosen by the editors of This Day Star deserves to be there. In fact, every woman, in whatever circumstance, deserves to be there. And it is, in one regard, an acknowledgement of the fact that women are an important part of the population. And this has been the historical trajectory forever. Since ancient Athens, 4th century BC, and all of that. Students of classics will remember all of this, the role that women have always played, in history. Helen of Troy, Cleopatra, all the women, indicating that throughout history, women have been important pillars for the making of human civilization. But what you have had has been a tradition of misogyny, patriarchy, masculinity, men trying to dominate and override the importance of women. But the pattern began to change with the insistence on women's right to vote, which took many years, but which crystallized in 1920 with the 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, which granted women the right to vote. Indeed, at a point, there was also argument over the right of women to work. So what we find with this grand celebration of women, across continents, is the triumph of that struggle, which began as far back as the 17th, 18th century. So every woman that is celebrated deserves that celebration, because women, they are our mothers, they are our daughters, they are our sisters, they are our workmates, they are, citizens. In Nigeria in particular, women constitute about half of the population. They are the ones who go out to vote. There are books on women and work, women and social work, indicating that, in fact, increasingly, women are heads of households, that they are breadwinners. The conventional view that men are the breadwinners and all that has changed. There are many men that are fed by their wives. Their wives will cover them up. They will not come out to say, my wife is the one feeding me. But the truth, really, is that there are many women now with economic power, economic influence. All those market women you see at Oyibo, you see at Ojuelegba, many of them are the ones who feed their husbands, who send their children to universities abroad. The contradiction that we have in Nigeria is that these same women are not celebrated enough. So what this day style has done is to take out examples of women who have done very well across professions, whether it's media, or it's arts, or it's oil and gas, or it is accounting, or it's whatever, fashion, showing that these are women who are making their own ways in the world and who deserve to be respected and who deserve, within the theme of accelerating progress, to be recognized for their accomplishments, not as wives, not as cooks who have to go home and cook for their husbands, but people who are also making their own way in life. In many cultures these days in Nigeria, culture is also transforming, it's changing, even without anybody forcing that dynamics. In some cultures in Nigeria, some people say, my daughter is my source of wealth, because the parents are waiting for that husband. Akunna, I think they say it in one language. Akunna, father's wealth. No, nobody is waiting for anybody's wealth now. The daughters have become themselves the wealth, as the likes of Obi Ezekwesili have shown, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala has shown, Uju Ifejika has shown, and many more. We can list like 1,000 examples. Who is that man that is bringing bride price? No, which Buchi Emechita wrote about in a very famous book. So these days, the girls are top ladies. I keep quoting a book of that title by British writer Carrie Phillips. So society is transforming. We're seeing the dynamism of culture, where women are not at the bottom of the ladder. We're dealing with top girls, not the ones who have seen the rainbow, as another book defines them, but the ones that are distinguished. So what is the lesson here? The lesson, of course, is that the Nigerian government, President Tinubu talked about inclusion and his commitment to including women. And I keep making the point that Nigerian women need to be represented more in political decision-making processes, in policy-making. We have 4% of women in the House of Reps. We have 3% in the Senate, a 19% decline from the 2019 general elections. How can we properly center? That's the professional academic word. The centering of women. You to center them, to move them from the periphery to the center. That's what the textbooks, talk about. In other words, to put women and assure that they assume their role. It's not about arguments about gender equity, gender equality, and all that. What the This Day style profiling shows is that we have women in this country who are capable across professions, and that we need to break down the walls of patriarchy, of misogyny, of masculinity to take advantage. And every parent who has a daughter can easily relate with this. You don't want to send your child to Cambridge, Exeter, Oxford, and these girls graduate. They are even the smarter ones these days. Look at the result from the law school, the bar final exams recently announced, the last call to bar ceremony. The girls were the ones who took the first class degrees. They were in the majority. Yeah, it's not as if the boys are not smart. The boys are busy watching, Nintendo. Rufai, you know the games, tell me. They are busy watching games. They are busy fretting over Premier League and all that. But the girls are focusing on the future. These same girls graduate, they get the first class in the faculty, they go to law school, they get the first class. They are also excelling in engineering, in medicine. All the faculties of medicine that we have had their graduation is the girls. The girls were the ones topping the class. Then your daughter comes out of university and ends up with one Nintendo playing imbecile who just wants to sit at home. And he says because he's a man, he's a man. And then tomorrow he gets an appointment because he's a man, because his father is a man. No, society must get involved in this rethinking of the process. And these same ordinary men, average men, they will start beating your daughter. They become violent. No, society must reorientate itself, and that advocacy must be taken beyond International Women's Day. International Women's Day must not be celebrated like Valentine's Day. It's not Valentine's Day. It's something that speaks to a very serious issue about an important segment of the population. And in Nigeria, what has been our experience, we've seen that the girls are increasingly more focused, more attentive, better than the men. Can the men also wake up? Can the men also, November 19 is International Men's Day. Can we also have an event? I would like to collaborate with you, Rufai Oseni and Rotus Odiri, although you people are bachelors, to also tell men that they have responsibility and they have to wake up. The women are waking up, the men are sleeping. So International Women's Day speaks to responsibility for the state, families, men, and also women.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Dr. Abati and Rufai. First of all, I'd like to say congratulations to all the women listed there. For every woman that's listed or who's made that list, I can assure you that there are many, many other women who are blazing the trail. And so these just stand as examples or a selection of women who are doing exceptionally in their different fields of interest. Beyond that, I'd also like to use the opportunity to say big thank you to the editors of This Day Style for taking out time to really honor women. I say this because, we all know that when it comes to people being in the spotlight in politics, in decision-making in Nigeria, we haven't yet bridged that gap where we see equity when it comes to gender balance. But we see organizations or outfits like This Day Style pushing that narrative and ensuring that the voices of women are being heard, and that is true inclusion. And so I really want to say a big thank you. Thanks for honoring me as well, alongside all the phenomenal women on that list, and to all the women out there who are pushing, who are making it work against all odds, in male-dominated fields, or just every day making a decision to keep pushing. this is for you. Congratulations. Now, when we talk about inspiring inclusion, the big theme around this year's International Women's Day, I have to mention the fact that we've talked about diversity for a long time, where we have a good representation of everybody on the table. Now, beyond that, when everyone gets on that table, it is to then provide an enabling environment to ensure that whilst everyone is on the table, every voice is also heard. It makes business sense. It makes political sense. It means there are better decisions that are taken because you have a variety of ideas on the table from different backgrounds and experiences. And so that's why this theme is so important. And so again, congratulations to all those who are listed, and congratulations, I must say, to all women in Nigeria. You are amazing. You're making it work, and you are also opening the door for other young women to dream as well. Well, we'll move on to other news making the headlines this hour. NECA, CPPE commend FG's suspension of $15,000 expatriate employment levy. While on the foreign scene, Oppenheimer reigns supreme at the 96th annual Oscars, scooping 7 awards, including Best Picture and Best Actor for Cillian Murphy.